You know, there's really not much better in this world than a big block Chevy basically going in anything. But we got the kind of car half pushed out. We got great weather, so it's nice, not too hot, not too cold. So all sorts. Look at all this room I have to struggle in. Fantastic. I love summer. So Mer's coming over. We're going to pull the hood off. I can't imagine there's much holding this little motor in. I don't think I've ever pulled a 6-cylinder, but how hard could it be? So while I'm waiting on him, I'm going to drain the radiator, do a few things like that. We'll get the front end up on stands so we can get under it. Transmission motor, unbolt. Yoink the thing out in one unit. I want to keep it as together as I can because I think the end goal for this, we'll take it out. We're going to clean it all up. Maybe we'll even paint it nice. It's going to go in Danny's car. I don't know if that's going to happen this fall or maybe next year. I don't know. I'm running out of room to place motors, so that's a bit of an issue, but we'll figure that out when we get there. So yeah, that's the plan with this thing. So we're just kind of doing a little bit of shuffling. Engine crane's out, motor's ready to go. The last video, I think we put a camshaft, all sorts of good stuff in it, so it is dialed to go in this thing. We're going to probably have issues, I'm sure. It's definitely a big motor. I don't know how the headers are going to fit, but I'm confident. So I'll see you when Mer's here. We'll take the hood off. Am I the only one that your retired parents have more of a life than you do on a Friday night? Mer came over to take the hood off, and he could stay for 8 seconds. Hood off, and he had to go. Anyway, we got the radiator out. Man, I got a collection of rads over there. Rads out. We got the thing up in the air. We got the transmission basically ready to come out. I think I have all the linkage off. Throttle linkage is all out. All the wiring's hanging off the back. Transmission lines are all cut. I think we should be good. Fuel line's plugged. It's very, very simple. So I'm going to dump that motor down on the ground right where it sits. Roll the crane over. I got to figure out where I'm going to bolt onto a straight 6. I guess maybe there's some head bolts or something like that. Huh, this is a new one. We'll figure that out. And yeah, hopefully it'll come out. The transmission mount, the cross member, didn't really want to come out easy, which was a hassle. Then we just got the 2 motor mounts to do. Exhaust is hanging. Yeah, we'll start jacking and see what's stuck. So I just jammed a pry bar under there and knocked it off the cross member, so we'll call it uninstalled. Again, the car being so high is not going to help us, but oh, we got the right angle, all of it. Honestly, if I can get it probably up and then back a little, I'll be okay. Otherwise, jack stand or jack and drop it off the stands. I'm thinking the big block, I'll probably jam her on in there while it's on the ground. A little heavier, and ooh, she's leaking tranny oil. But yeah. The mounts are going to be issues, so I think I'm going to take the mounts out of this thing. We'll set the other one in there with a floor jack and a block of wood. And we'll see what we got to do. The motor might have to be pulled out or moved over or all sorts of stuff. The big block I'm talking. But there is 2 sets of mounts, or holes I should say, on the cross member, so that's appealing. Oh, not bad. Man, that is one dirty transmission. Holy Christ. Okay, I think I'll be able to get almost all the way out, then I'll just swing the transmission. A pair of gloves or a rag. Oh, it's still heavy. A second person would be sweet right about now. And go over a little more. Okay. Good thing I don't really care about the paint, eh? This is gonna mangle the front. Gentle. We're just right there. So close. This is a Tri-5 Chevy. We wouldn't have any issues. Whew. Look at that old girl. Wow, that is dirty. Okay. Let's put her a little lower. Well, I guess I should move away from the car. Okay. Whew. Uninstalled. Easily done. Motor out, man. Look, like that's grimy. Wow. Put that in the truck, pressure wash it. So here's what I'm talking about. See all these mounts, and they go back. This will be a second set. So I wonder, I'll have to look at what I got. So I got square body stuff. At least we have something that would just kind of work out. But I'm not too optimistic. Worst case, we'll drill some holes, or I'll weld the mounts on, or do something like that. But I gotta grab those mounts out of the car. We'll see what they look like. So we got the old motor mounts chopped out. They were in those holes. Those, I believe, would be the big block holes. Now, this has the same kind of setup, 2-in-1, but they're slightly different. So I don't know. I mean, we're kind of like a half a hole out on each. So we all belong to frame, or these mounts, but I don't know if that's, they have to go further up. They really can't go much further. I think what I'm going to do is probably bolt these on the motor, swing the motor and trans in, see what it looks like, and then I might even just tack those where I want them on the frame. If we want, we can pull the motor, roll it one way or the other, drill the holes, or just weld them, whatever we want to do, and then we'll be golden. That's my thought. Anyway, so this thing's done draining. Slap it in the corner, go pick up the big boy, and slide her on in. So this is typically what I do on Tri-5 Chevys. I'll put the motor mounts on the motor. Obviously, when you put a big block in a Tri-5, I've never had a big block. So you put them on there, sort it where you want, and you just weld it or drill it in. So that'll be the plan for this as well. We're in the air. All that's left is everything. All right, so much as I love big block Chevys, they are big and heavy. When they're all the way up on the crane, I don't like it. But what are you gonna do? Precarious. We're going a little sideways, hopefully. Kind of just jog it over. Oh yeah, there we go. Kick the legs. Gentle. Well, we have run into a problem with the steering. Rear steer hits the oil pan, which way she goes. So I'm thinking the motor's going to come out. Again, I'll take the oil pan off. I'm going to trim out as much as I can. This is very similar to a Tri-5 Chevy. We're actually not too bad distance-wise back, but the mounts just have nothing to bite to. So I'll think about it for a minute. But I'm thinking motor out, because I mean, there's still lots of room here. It's not like we're going to KO into the radiator. I mean, the rad goes back there, and even with the water pump and fan, there's miles and miles of room. So for sure forward. Unfortunately, motor's got to come out. That's lame. Well, it got late. Honestly, the door's down most of the night because grinding and throwing sparks at midnight, neighbors don't like. Well, big block is hanging. So the nice thing about the one-piece seal, well, she's reusable. It's basically an LS motor. So you got the oil pan over here. I took off basically as much as I could. So that's, I think it was 2 3/4, 2 1/2. So I went just up until the drain plug would still go in. I went over it, I ground it down, I went over it again with weld. So it should be okay, but I'm calling for tonight. I'm gonna take it into the shop tomorrow and run it through the parts cleaner, get all the junk out, blow it out with air really good. And then I want to get some seal all. I'll go over all the welds, so it should be okay, I'm hoping. Then slap back on and we'll try again. So ultimately we're maybe, I don't know, half, maybe a little under half of the motor mount was sitting when the steering was hitting. So if we can move it that, 2 inches, we'll have 3/4 or damn near all the motor mount on there, as much as we're gonna have, so life's good. Couldn't get a car pan, unfortunately. Everything is out of stock and expensive, so a couple hours labor. Man, when I did the patches on this thing, and I said it was $0, people are like, well, what about electricity and welding gas? Okay, should I do the cubic feet of welding gas I use? But it cost me no money. That's the way she goes. I'll leave it for there. I'll probably see you in like 8 hours. Good times. Okay, new day. So, just got back from the shop, cleaned this out in the solvent tank real good, and then I hosed it out with water. Just when you think you're done doing it with water, give it some more. You don't want any of the junk left in there. A little bit of stuff is getting immediately sucked up and then put through the motor, right? So get all the metal and all that out. I did have to give it a bit of a schwammo right there, just so it would clear the pickup. It is as far back as we're going to be able to go. There's no more room we can possibly get unless we're going to mess with the pickup and all that stuff. But a tape measure out here. We added probably a little over 2 1/2, 2 3/4. Now these mounts were kind of about half on. So if we add, what's that? Oh yeah, 2 inches. So 2 3/4 like there. So as long as that hole was on, we should be okay. So this now should go right in the proper spot. We'll have lots of room. I did get some seal all. I'm not going to put it on until it's in the car and bolted in, because if you shmoo it on there, it'll take like a day to dry, and it gets all over your hands, all over everything. It's going to slide around onto a steering. It's ugly. So push this thing back outside, and I might jack it up and just hang it on the frame, because these damn legs get caught on the tie rods, so needs a little bit more height. All right, so we should be good to go. I changed the mount on the transmission. We got new motor mounts, custom oil pan. What more could a guy want, right? So let's see if we can get this thing swinging. Oh yeah, I think we're mint.
Okay.
Thanks, Bear.
All right.
I mean, honestly, a big block doesn't even look that big in this thing. I just tried to test with the headers. The problem is it's got these giant 3.5 inch collectors, so they were jamming against the motor and all that. But I think based on where the steering box is, right by third cylinder back, so it has this little pocket for the steering box. So it should either go from the bottom side up, or you might have to unbolt the motor and just rock it one way or the other. But get in there, you see the steering. Lots. That's on max crank, so we got 3/4 of an inch anyways before it's hitting the pan, so that's a win. I did just give it a couple of welds to hold it in. So anyway, oh yeah, so the motor mount, so what I did is the back bolt lined up with the bolt holes that were in the frame already. The front ones are just oblong a little bit, so at any point you could just, you know, drill those out a little bigger, put some bolts in, and we'd be set. But I think I'm just gonna weld them because it's fine. Transmission's held with a floor jack. I'm gonna get out of there and just see. I don't know where this is a short shaft turbo 400 and a power glide. I don't know what's gonna happen there. I might have to move it back or forward or whatever I gotta do, but I cleaned the cross member up and it has the same 2-bolt style. So it should just slide in there. Worst case, I gotta move the mounts back a little, but I'm gonna see if I can jam in there, get the transmission at least hung up a little bit, and then we'll jack the front end up. Because right now we're kind of at a precarious thing where the motor's in, but the transmission's just kind of dangling. So either we'll run a ratchet strap across or do something. We gotta get the front end up in the air. But this is, yeah, she's straight back, no issues, measured side to side. It's mint. Still in the air. It is freaking hot today. Anyway, check this out. Look at that. The headers fit mint right around the steering, no issues, like $100. Can't believe it. Valve covers are sitting on there. But yeah, man, this thing has got all sorts of room in here. This header fit. The passenger side always fits easy. So realistically, the only issue we had was that oil pan, and had I been thinking, which I just wasn't, a car oil pan or like a Nova oil pan probably would have been fine. Something off a, you know, 68 to 72 or whatever it is, like 396 oil pan. But a local one was a fortune. I checked today after I did the work, and Rock Auto was out of stock. So obviously, the way she goes. I wasn't spending a couple $100 to chop up to put an oil pan. I just chopped on it for free. And we're in the same thing. So now I can get in there and seal all it. Now underneath, I put in that cross member. So all I did was very simple. This is the mount. Ooh, that's an ugly weld. But it was like, well, it's right here actually. So just had to move back. There we go. It's all good. Holding, no issues. It's all factory stuff. The headers are going to go straight back. I guess I probably didn't need all that exhaust tubing I bought, but so headers go straight back. It has a double hump cross member, which is fantastic. The drive shaft actually looks like it might be pretty darn close. I got to get a yoke for it, and then we'll see. So I'm going to drop this thing down on the ground and make sure it's still all good. I'm sure it will be. But to finish out this video, water pump, pulleys. We'll put the valve covers on, put the gaskets in. I have a radiator I'd like to test fit. I got a Performance World. It's for a Camaro, big block Camaro. So we'll see. It looks like it mounts kind of the same. Instead of, this is, I guess must be one of the last years of this. So typically like 68 and up, I guess. The radiator has like a, it would sit on a little pedestal with some rubber mounts and be clamped. And this one bolted to the opening here. So I mean, in all reality, the rad can only be as big as this opening, which I believe one of those ones over there will be. And then wait on intake. But yeah, that'll be coming up. Then we're doing exhaust next video. Fun times. Well, took a bit of a break and I kind of cleaned up, washed the floor, had a shower, changed my shirt. It's hot. Anyways, this is the radiator I got. So it's Camaro. So I think it's basically, I mean, it's going to be damn near as wide as the opening. It could be maybe another inch or so. And it still has a way to go down. So I think that'll probably, well, we're going to put it in there for now. Got that dialed. I just washed the fuel pump and the crank pulley and stuff like that. It's nice not having to paint anything. I just gave it a hose down. So we got the gasket set up for that. I actually found a small block Chevy gasket kit, but I think all that stuff is the same. We'll find out. And then might have to run out and get some header bolts and stuff like that. We're just going to kind of source this thing all together, make it look decent. It's now kind of a, you know, motor in transmission roller. Then we got to make a list for rad hoses, upper, lower. Hopefully, I have a fan. I hope the fan will fit on there so I can do that. And then I'll do an electric pusher at the same time. We'll have to relocate this washer jug, which is broke anyway, so we'll have to put a universal something or other. But yeah, it's really coming together. So I'll get this kind of piece together, bring it back. I think I'm almost done for the day. I'm hot. Well, radiator's in. I don't know if we're gonna have room for a fan. The rad sticks back a little bit more than I thought, and whatnot. But basically it's core to core. I mean, we got maybe another inch or so, and it hangs all the way down. So this should be pretty good. I do have the silicone and a gaskets on the water pump. Let's give her a quick cleanup. So let's see if we can put this together real quick. Maybe I'll put you guys somewhere you can actually see it. Look at that, some fine camera work. So, old rusty junk, brand new hardware. Is there anything better than that? I don't think so. So we'll put this on. Maybe I'll just put 2 bolts in for now. Damn it. Every time. And then I don't think I'll be able to put, oh yeah, it's gonna be tight for a fan, with a clutch fan. I don't think I have a regular non-clutch jobby. Water pumps are heavy. But yeah, should be able to get this on, but I don't have the intake manifold, so there's no point putting the alternator on, screwing around bracketry like that. Yeah, there's no way this fan's gonna fit. Let's just test it, but no, not even close. So that's a hassle. So unfortunately, what I need to do is I need a fan just like this, but doesn't have the clutch mechanism on it, which is kind of old school stuff. They started using the clutch on all these square bodies. So, but if I do, I'll be able to have a fan, be nice and close. I know I should run a shroud, but I won't. And then I can put the pusher fan if I need it, and a cooler for the transmission on the front. This should work out really nice. And then, what if the rad hose, lower rad hose, is the 6-cylinder one? If we can make this work some which way. All right, but we'll be able to do something with that. Hopefully. Anyways, I'll get this all bolted together, and I think that's where we're going to leave it. Well, maybe I'll show you guys the fancy exhaust I'm going to put on this thing. All right, we got her pushed back in the garage. One thing, everyone was going to freak out about I didn't change the springs. So I didn't change them because they were fine when it was a 6-cylinder, and honestly, they actually look not too bad now. I did roll it ahead. We'll see once we bounce it around if it drops down, but we still have lots of drop before it becomes a problem. Motor's in, everything's good. As far as we're going to make it for today, anywho, looks good, I'm stoked. So here's the plan. 2 lengths of 3-inch pipe. I probably could have just used one, but they were on sale, so I got a second one. And old school, like plain Jane turbo mufflers. Huh? Come on. So this thing will be, hopefully, it'll sound just like it would have had you ordered from the factory with a big block Chevy. 427 with an automatic, or 4-speed would have been cooler, but what are you going to do? That's what I'm doing for now. We did a lot. Motor out, motor in. We got to go deal with this thing at some point. Motors take up room, but it's a good motor. I don't want to get rid of it. Danny needs it for her car. Thanks for watching. Comment below. Let me know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It makes a world of difference to me, and I really appreciate it. I'll start an exhaust tomorrow. Or tonight. We'll see how motivated I am. Thanks for watching.